Lucas Reynolds, a 38-year-old man, was driving back home after another exhausting day at work. As the head of a company he had inherited from his father, Lucas felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. Despite his professional success, there was an emptiness that he and his wife, Helena, carried in their hearts. Helena, a sweet and strong woman, had always dreamed of becoming a mother, but a health issue prevented her from having children. Although they had come to accept this over time, it left deep scars on both of them. Welcome to Heartwarming Tales, your dose of finding the beauty in life. I'm Lucius. Join me as we dive into another emotional story. Arriving home, a beautiful house in a quiet neighborhood of the city, Lucas was greeted by the silence that seemed more deafening with each passing day. Helena was in the kitchen, preparing dinner, but the calm environment and familiar routine, which once brought comfort, now seemed to underline the absence they both felt. "Hi, love," Lucas said, entering the kitchen and kissing Helena on the forehead. "Hi, dear," she replied with a soft smile that couldn't completely hide the melancholy in her eyes. "How was your day?" "Long and tiring as always," he responded, opening the fridge and grabbing a bottle of water. He hesitated for a moment before continuing. "I need to go for a walk to clear my mind." Helena nodded understandingly. She knew these nighttime walks of Lucas were more than just a desire to stretch his legs. They were a way to deal with the frustration and sadness that, no matter how much they tried, never really went away. "Go ahead, dear. I'll finish up here. Don't take too long, okay?" Lucas smiled, silently thanking Helena for understanding so well what he needed. He stepped out onto the city streets, where the cool night air immediately wrapped around him, easing some of the tension built up over the day. As he walked through the partially lit streets, Lucas tried to push away thoughts of work, but his mind constantly returned to the same question that had haunted him for years: the unfulfilled desire to be a father. He had always imagined a house full of children's laughter, toys scattered on the floor, and the voices of children running through the house. But that vision had never materialized, leaving a void that he and Helena struggled to fill in other ways. Turning a corner, something caught his attention. Under the dim light of a street lamp, a small figure was curled up on the sidewalk, arms around her knees. It was a girl, no more than 5 or 6 years old, lost and scared. "Hey, are you okay?" Lucas asked, approaching cautiously, trying not to frighten her. The girl looked up, and he saw tears streaming down her dirty face. She seemed hesitant, but finally shook her head no. "I'm lost," the girl replied, her voice trembling. Lucas felt a pang in his heart, seeing the despair in the child's eyes. Without a second thought, he knelt beside her, trying to convey safety. "My name is Lucas. What's your name?" he asked gently. "Mia," she replied, wiping the tears with the back of her hand. "Mia, where are your parents? Do you know where you live?" Lucas asked, hoping she could give him some clue about where she lived. "I don't know. I was with my mom, but now I can't find her," Mia answered, and the sadness in her voice made Lucas feel deep compassion for her. Realizing that Mia was clearly disoriented and scared, Lucas knew he couldn't leave her there. He looked around, but there was no one nearby who could be responsible for her. "Mia, how about you come with me to my house? I live nearby. We can call the police and see if we can find your mom." "How does that sound?" he suggested, trying to sound as welcoming as possible. Mia hesitated for a moment, but then she looked at Lucas and, perhaps sensing the sincerity in his eyes, nodded timidly. "Okay," she said, standing up with Lucas's help. When they arrived at Lucas's house, Helena was in the living room, waiting for him. Seeing Lucas come in with a small girl by his side, Helena quickly got up, surprised. "Lucas, who is this girl?" she asked, approaching with concern. "This is Mia. I found her alone on the street. She was lost and doesn't know how to get back home. I thought we could help her find her family," Lucas explained as Mia partially hid behind him. Helena, with her naturally nurturing heart, crouched down to be at Mia's level. "Hi, Mia. My name is Helena. You're safe here, okay? We'll take care of you until we find your mom," Helena said with a warm smile. Mia looked at Helena, still a bit scared, but the gentle tone of Helena's voice seemed to calm her. "Are you hungry, Mia?" Helena asked, And when the girl nodded affirmatively, Helena continued, "I'll make something really nice for you, okay?" While Helena prepared something for Mia to eat, Lucas led her to the couch, where she sat, still holding his hand. "You know, Mia, you can stay here as long as you need until we find your mom," Lucas said, feeling a strange yet comforting connection with the girl. Helena returned from the kitchen with a plate of simple food, but prepared with care. She watched as Mia ate slowly, as if getting used to the safe and welcoming environment that now surrounded her. During the entire time, Lucas and Helena exchanged looks, a silent communication between them. They both knew something had changed. It wasn't just Mia's presence in their home, but the possibility she represented, a glimpse of something they had long believed to be out of their reach. As Lucas watched Mia snuggle on the couch in his home, he felt something new growing inside him, a feeling that he and Helena had long believed to be out of their reach. The first rays of the sun had barely illuminated the sky when Lucas got up that morning, his mind still trapped in the events of the previous night. He carefully descended the stairs, trying not to wake Helena, but when he reached the living room, he found his wife sitting on the sofa, with Mia sleeping beside her, her head resting on Helena's lap. Helena was gently stroking the girl's hair, her eyes fixed on a distant point, as if lost in deep thoughts. "I couldn't sleep," Helena whispered when she noticed Lucas approaching. "I kept thinking about how this little one ended up here. What happened to her family?" Lucas sat down next to Helena, watching Mia sleep peacefully. There was a fragility in the girl that touched him deeply, as if the harshness of life on the streets had stolen part of her innocence. Yet there was still something about her that awakened a protective instinct in both him and Helena. "We need to find out more about her, Helena," Lucas said, his voice low and filled with concern. "We can't let her go back to the streets. Not after what we saw last night." Helena nodded, her gaze still fixed on Mia. She didn't need to say anything. Lucas knew his wife was thinking the same. There was a pain in Helena, a void she couldn't fill, and Mia seemed to be the key to a new beginning, a way to heal the wounds they both carried. During breakfast, Helena tried to approach the subject delicately. "Mia, do you remember where your home is? Where you lived before you found us?" Helena asked while spreading some butter on a piece of bread for the girl. Mia, who had been playing with a piece of toast on her plate, stopped for a moment and looked at Helena with an expression of sadness that seemed too heavy for such a small child. "I don't have a real home," Mia replied in a low, almost inaudible voice. "I lived with my dad, but he got sick and went to heaven. After that, I was alone." Helena felt her heart clench upon hearing those words. She looked at Lucas, who also seemed deeply shaken. "And your mom, Mia? Is she somewhere around here?" Lucas asked, trying not to sound too eager. Mia shook her head. "I don't know my mom. My dad always said she had to leave when I was a baby, but he never told me where she went." The girl averted her gaze, her eyes beginning to fill with tears. "After he left, I tried to find my mom, but I don't know where to look." Mia's words echoed through the room, creating a heavy silence, full of pain and desolation. Lucas and Helena exchanged a meaningful look, both feeling the gravity of the situation. How could such a small child have gone through so much? Helena, always the maternal figure, leaned in and pulled Mia into a hug, trying to convey all the love and comfort she could. "Mia, we're here now, and you don't have to worry anymore. We'll take care of you," Helena whispered, feeling the girl snuggle into her arms, as if she had finally found a refuge. At that moment, Lucas watched Helena and Mia, a mix of emotions swirling inside him. He knew that Helena had always wanted to be a mother, but fate had been cruel in denying them that desire. And now, in front of Mia, a child who clearly needed love and protection, he felt a spark of hope reignite in his chest. The following days were marked by a routine that Lucas and Helena had never experienced before. Despite all the pain she carried, Mia brought a new energy to the house. Her laughter, though timid at first, began to fill the empty spaces, and the mere presence of the girl seemed to brighten Helena's life. However, Mia's sadness was undeniable. Sometimes, Lucas would find her staring out the window with a distant expression, as if waiting for something or someone to appear and take her back to a place she couldn't name. "I feel like I need to do more for her, Lucas," Helena said one night as they were getting ready for bed. "I can't bear the thought of this sweet, innocent girl having to go back to the streets. She deserves more than that." Lucas turned to look at Helena, seeing the determination in her eyes. He felt the same way. Mia had become part of their lives in a way he couldn't have predicted, and now, the thought of losing her was unbearable. "Helena, have you ever thought, what if we could give her what we've always wanted?" Lucas suggested, his voice hesitant but filled with hope. Helena looked at him, surprised. But soon her expression softened, and a small smile appeared on her lips. "You're talking about adopting her, aren't you?" she asked, her voice almost a whisper. Lucas nodded, taking Helena's hand and intertwining his fingers with hers. "Yes, I know it's early, and I don't know how she would feel about it, but, Helena, I think this girl was sent to us for a reason. Maybe we can give her the family she never had, and at the same time, fill the void we've been carrying for so long." Helena let out a sigh, her eyes filling with tears. She knew Lucas was right. Mia had come into their lives like a ray of sunlight after a long, dark storm. And now, all they wanted was to hold on to her and never let her go. "Let's do it, Lucas. Let's do everything we can to give her a home and all the love we have to offer," Helena said, her voice firm and full of emotion. Lucas smiled, feeling a deep sense of relief. He knew the decision wouldn't be easy, and there were many challenges ahead, but for the first time in a long time, he felt like he was on the right path. Lucas knew that Mia's life couldn't continue like this, and for the first time, he and Helena felt that there might still be a chance for them to have the family they had always dreamed of. In the days following Mia's arrival, the Reynolds house began to transform. The presence of the little girl brought a new energy into the environment, something Lucas and Helena had not experienced in a long time. Despite all their doubts and concerns, the bond between them and Mia grew stronger every day. Lucas and Helena decided to temporarily take care of Mia while they sought more information about her situation. Both began to seriously consider the idea of adopting her, but they knew this decision needed to be carefully thought out. Their lives were already full of responsibilities, and Lucas, with his heart condition, knew this choice would not be easy. Anna, the housekeeper, observed everything with a watchful and concerned eye. She had known Lucas and Helena for years and had a very practical view of life. To her, the decision to adopt Mia was a huge step, one that could have unpredictable consequences. "Lucas, Helena, I know you both have your hearts in the right place, but this is a big responsibility. Lucas, you need to think about your health. And with the demands of work, how will you be able to give Mia the attention she needs?" Anna expressed her concerns with a mix of affection and apprehension. She knew the couple loved the girl, but she feared that the decision to adopt her was impulsive and that it could bring difficult consequences. Lucas felt the weight of Anna's words. He knew his heart condition was serious and that it could impact his ability to be the father Mia deserved. Anna's words echoed in his mind as he reflected on the future. What if I can't keep up with her growth? What if my health worsens and I can't be there for Mia and Helena? Am I being selfish by considering adoption? These doubts gnawed at Lucas from within, but when he looked at Mia playing in the garden, he felt something new, a hope he thought he had lost forever. Helena, on the other hand, found in Mia the chance to fulfill her dream of being a mother, a desire she had carried with deep sadness since she learned she could not have children. Seeing her caring for Mia, the way her eyes sparkled as she helped the girl with the simple tasks of daily life, made Lucas realize how much this decision meant to her. "I've always wanted to be a mother, Lucas. And Mia, she needs us just as much as we need her," Helena said with a tenderness that warmed Lucas's heart despite all his concerns. Mia, too, was growing attached to the couple in a way she had never allowed herself before. She felt safe, loved, and for the first time in a long time, hopeful. She began to open up more, sharing small pieces of her story with Lucas and Helena. On a quiet afternoon, while Mia was drawing at the kitchen table, Lucas asked, "Mia, would you like to stay here with us for a longer time?" Mia looked at him, her big, innocent eyes reflecting the insecurity of a child who had already lost so much. "I would love to, but what if you change your mind?" Lucas felt his heart tighten. Mia's pain was palpable, and he knew he couldn't let her continue like this. "We're not going to change our minds, Mia. We want you to feel like part of this family because that's exactly how we already feel." As the days passed, Lucas and Helena grew closer to Mia. They began to imagine a future with her in their lives permanently, and this idea, though daunting, also brought a sense of peace and fulfillment. Lucas knew there were challenges ahead, especially because of his health, but he also felt that Mia was the missing piece in their lives. Anna, though initially reluctant, began to notice the positive impact Mia was having on the household. Although still concerned, she started to help more with the girls' care, seeing in her a new reason to continue serving the Reynolds family. "I just want you both to be prepared for everything, the joys and the challenges this will bring," Anna said to Lucas and Helena, showing that, despite her reservations, she was on their side. In a moment of introspection, while watching Mia play in the garden, Lucas reflected on the decision he was about to make. He knew that adopting Mia wouldn't just be about giving her a home. It would be about offering her the love and security that he and Helena had always dreamed of giving a child. "I know it won't be easy, but I'm ready for this. I'm ready to be the father that Mia needs and to face anything alongside Helena," he thought, with a determination that gave him strength. With Mia by his side, Lucas felt that he and Helena were about to make the most important decision of their lives, a decision that could change everything forever. The idea of adopting her, which initially seemed like a distant thought, began to take shape in their minds and hearts. However, this decision brought with it a series of challenges and concerns, both internal and external, that tested the couple's love and determination. Doubts and insecurities. Lucas, who had always been a pillar of strength and confidence, now found himself overwhelmed with doubts. His heart condition, which he had learned to live with over the years, now seemed like a real threat to his desire to be a father. He spent sleepless nights, his gaze lost on the dark ceiling of their bedroom, while beside him, Helena slept, or at least pretended to sleep. "What if my heart can't take it?" he would ask himself repeatedly. "What if I leave Mia helpless when she needs me the most?" These thoughts consumed him, bringing forth fears he had long buried deep inside. On one of those nights, unable to continue lying down, Lucas got up and went to the living room. The silence of the house was heavy, broken only by the ticking of the clock on the wall. He sat on the couch and buried his face in his hands, feeling the weight of his own expectations and the responsibility he was about to take on. He feared that his fragile heart might not be strong enough to face this new reality. Helena, on the other hand, was equally frightened. Although she had always dreamed of becoming a mother, now that the possibility was before her, the reality of the situation was overwhelming. The responsibility of raising a child, especially one like Mia, who had already been through so much, seemed enormous. "Will we be good parents?" she asked Lucas one morning as they had breakfast in silence. "What if we can't give her what she needs? What if we unintentionally hurt her?" Lucas held her hand, trying to offer comfort, but he knew that his words would not be enough to dispel the fears that haunted him as well. "We'll do our best, Helena. That's all we can do," he said, though his own voice was filled with uncertainty. Anna's skepticism. Anna, the housekeeper, observed everything with a watchful and concerned eye. She had known Lucas and Helena for years and had a very practical view of life. For her, the decision to adopt Mia was a huge step that could have unpredictable consequences. "You need to think carefully before making this decision," she advised whenever she had the chance. "Adopting a child is a huge responsibility, especially for you two, who have such busy lives and full of commitments. And Lucas, with your heart condition, you need to take care of yourself too." These words echoed in Lucas's mind, feeding his insecurities. But at the same time, he knew that he couldn't let fear dictate his decisions. Mia needed them, and each passing day made that clearer. The outing and the revelation. One day, Lucas and Helena decided to take Mia out for a walk around the city. They wanted the girl to get distracted and feel more integrated into their routine. The day was sunny, and the streets were full of life. The trio strolled through the shops, stopping at an ice cream parlor to enjoy a treat. One of the small pleasures that Mia had never experienced before. She laughed, delighted by the colors and flavors, while Lucas and Helena watched her with a mixture of joy and sadness. Then, as they were walking through a park, the tranquility of the moment was abruptly interrupted. Two social workers who were in the area recognized Mia as a missing child. They approached the trio cautiously, but the tension was palpable. "Excuse me, sir and madam," said one of the social workers, "but this girl was reported missing after her father's death. We need to take her to a shelter until the situation is clarified." The words hit Lucas and Helena like a blow. Mia's face, which had been radiant until that moment, was now filled with fear and confusion. She clung to Helena's arm, her large eyes brimming with tears. "Please, don't take me away," she begged, her voice trembling. Helena, desperate, looked at Lucas for support. "Please, you can't take her," she pleaded with the social workers, her voice filled with emotion. "We found her alone and want to adopt her. Mia is already part of our family." The social workers, though understanding of the couple's attachment, explained that there were legal procedures to follow and that Mia needed to be protected until everything was resolved. "We understand how you feel," said one of the social workers, "but we have to follow protocol. Mia needs to be taken to a safe place until this is resolved." Lucas felt a wave of despair wash over him. Seeing Mia taken away, unable to do anything to stop it, was an unbearable pain. He knew he couldn't give up on her, but the fear that his heart might not withstand this battle terrified him. He felt a pressure in his chest, a pain that made him gasp, but he remained firm, knowing he couldn't show weakness at that moment. As Mia was led away, crying and calling out for them, Lucas felt a tightening in his chest so strong that it almost brought him to his knees. Helena, by his side, was equally devastated. She held Lucas's hand tightly, trying to convey the strength she herself did not feel. "We can't give up on her, Lucas," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "We have to fight for her, no matter what it takes." The decision to fight. Back at the mansion, the silence was almost deafening. The emptiness left by Mia was palpable, and every corner of the house seemed darker, colder. Lucas and Helena sat in the living room, side by side, but the pain they felt kept them distant. "I feel like I failed her," Lucas said, his voice low and full of sorrow. "We promised to take care of Mia, and now she's been taken from us." Helena turned to him, her eyes shining with a determination Lucas had not seen before. "We haven't failed, Lucas." "Not yet," she said firmly. "We're going to fight for Mia. We'll do whatever it takes to bring her back. She is our daughter, and we won't give up on her." Helena's words ignited a new flame in Lucas's heart. He knew that the battle ahead would be tough, but as he looked at Helena, he felt a new strength growing within him. "You're right, Helena," he said, gripping her hand tightly. "We'll fight for Mia. She belongs with us, and we won't give up on her without a fight." As night fell and the stars began to shine in the sky, Lucas and Helena decided that they were ready to face any obstacle. The battle for Mia was just beginning, and they would do everything to bring their daughter back home, where she truly belonged. The days leading up to Lucas and Helena's decision to officially adopt Mia were marked by a blend of anxiety and hope. The couple, who had long dreamed of having a family, were now facing the real possibility of making that dream come true. However, the path to adoption was fraught with both legal and emotional challenges, and they both knew that this decision would change their lives forever. Lucas and Helena spent countless nights discussing the possibility of adopting Mia. The fear of failing as parents and the responsibility of caring for a child with such a difficult past haunted them. During one of these conversations, Helena, with tears in her eyes, voiced her deepest insecurity. "Lucas, what if we can't be the parents Mia needs? What if she ends up suffering more with us?" Helena looked at her husband, seeking a certainty she herself did not possess. Lucas, in turn, was also concerned, particularly about his own health. His heart condition was a constant worry, and he feared not being present enough for Mia. However, he knew deep down that he could not let this opportunity slip away. "Helena, we might not be perfect, but the one thing I know is that Mia needs love, and we have more than enough to give. She has brought a new life into this home. We can't give up now," Lucas replied, holding his wife's hand firmly. These conversations strengthened the couple's resolve. They decided that, regardless of the challenges, they would do everything to provide Mia with a life full of love and security. The adoption process was not easy. It involved a series of legal steps, interviews with social workers, and court visits to Lucas and Helena's home. Each of these steps was an emotional roller coaster, full of uncertainties and fears. There was always the worry that something might go wrong, that fate might intervene and separate them from Mia. During one of these visits, Lucas was questioned about his heart condition. The social worker looked at him with concern, asking if he was prepared for the physical and emotional demands of raising a child. Lucas took a deep breath before responding. "I know my health isn't perfect, but my heart, though fragile, has never been stronger than it is now. Mia has brought something to my life that I never thought I could feel. I am willing to face any challenge for her." Helena, standing beside Lucas, added, "And I will be by his side, supporting him every step of the way. Together, we are stronger, and we know that we can give Mia the home she deserves." These heartfelt words deeply touched the social worker, who saw how committed Lucas and Helena were to providing a better life for Mia. Anna, the housekeeper, who had initially been against the adoption, began to change her stance as she saw the positive impact Mia was having on the couple's lives. Observing the joy Mia brought to the house and the new energy filling the environment, Anna started to question whether she had been too harsh. One evening, while preparing dinner, Anna approached Helena in the kitchen. "You know, Helena, at first I thought this idea of adoption wasn't right. I thought it might be a burden, a risk, but seeing how much you two have changed since Mia arrived, I was wrong. She has brought something special to this home, and now I can't imagine this place without her." Helena smiled, touched by Anna's words. "Thank you, Anna. That means a lot to us. Mia has become part of our family, and it's good to know that you accept her too." Finally, the day of the court hearing arrived. Lucas, Helena, and Mia were nervous but determined. In court, the judge patiently listened to all arguments and testimonies. The silence that followed was almost unbearable as everyone awaited the final decision. When the judge finally spoke, he said in a firm voice, "After reviewing all the facts and considering the child's well-being, I approve the adoption of Mia by Mr. and Mrs. Reynolds. From today, Mia is officially your daughter." The relief and joy that enveloped Lucas and Helena were indescribable. Tears of happiness rolled down Helena's face as Lucas embraced Mia with all the strength his heart could muster. It was official. They were, finally, a family. From that moment on, life in the Reynolds home changed completely. The house, once silent and empty, was now filled with laughter, play, and the sound of Mia's quick steps running through the hallways. The love Lucas and Helena felt for Mia seemed to grow each day, and the little girl, who had once been lost and alone, now had a safe and loving home. Anna, who now accepted Mia as part of the family, became a caring figure in the girl's life, helping her with her studies and teaching her new things every day. Time passed, and Mia grew into a smart and determined young woman. Following in her adoptive parents' footsteps, she decided she wanted to make a difference in people's lives. She became a successful doctor, known for her dedication and empathy with her patients. On the night of her graduation, Mia was invited to give a speech. Emotionally, she looked at the audience and saw Lucas and Helena sitting in the front row, with pride and love evident on their faces. "Today, I am here thanks to two very special people," Mia began. "Lucas and Helena, you gave me a life I never imagined I could have. You taught me what true love is, what it means to have a family, and for that, I will be forever grateful." Lucas and Helena's eyes filled with tears as they listened to Mia's heartfelt thanks. It was a moment when everything made sense, where all the struggles, fears, and uncertainties melted away, leaving only the love that had always bound them together. The journey that began with pain and emptiness ended in a life filled with love, showing that sometimes the most beautiful things in life come from the most unexpected encounters. Thank you for watching this touching story all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories like this one. Your support means the world to us.